Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray, joined again this week by Rich Eisen, editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly publication. Rich, always good to have you here. Most recent public policy poll that came out in June believed California headed in the wrong direction. Governor Newsom's approval rating 44%, 62% believe that the state is headed in the wrong direction. What does that say about the next 2 years for the governor here?
Well, I mean, I think number one, it says that he probably needs to focus more of his attention on California. He would probably argue that he does, but I think a lot of the people that express the negative feelings about him feel, he has spent a tremendous amount of his time outside of the state, focusing on things that don't affect everyday Californians in the way maybe that he thinks they do. So I think that's the number one thing for him. I think after the election, I hope he sees these next 2 years as an opportunity to keep working on some of the things he said were his signature issues, like homelessness, housing affordability, those kinds of things. Whether he will or not, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll know a lot more what the rest of his life is going to look like after Election Day,
Absolutely.
Based on whatever happens with Kamala Harris. Propositions 33 and 34, you just moderated a session about this. What's the feedback?
Yeah, this is very, very passionate people. Now, for those who don't know, Prop 33 would remove a state law that bars local governments from implementing rent control if they want to. Prop 34 basically goes after the people who are sponsoring Prop 33 and to essentially keep them from being able to spend money on ballot measures. Those are very, very different things. Prop 33 is all about the rent control. Prop 34 is essentially about not having any more rent control ballot measures to deal with. This would be the third time the public has emphatically rejected the first two. A little different, though. This time, it's not a statewide mandate. It's more something that would allow local governments to do it if they want to. But I highly encourage everybody to go out and learn as much about those two as they can before they vote.
There's a lot of reading to do, and sometimes the reading gets you more confused.
Absolutely.
So, okay, back to Kamala Harris again. If she does win for president, what distinct major advantages would California get from that? Home cooking?
Well, I think the number one thing that California gets just right off the top is that there would be a president who is strongly in support of reproductive rights. That is something that California, folks who support abortion rights in California have, made their mission since the Dobbs decision came down a couple years ago. So that's number one. I think also when, we are a state prone to massive natural disasters, and it absolutely would benefit California to have a president not just sympathetic to those situations, but who has a very direct and, visceral experience with them.
Yeah, get FEMA out a little bit quicker than maybe some other people might do. Rich?
And funding.
Yeah, absolutely. Funding is key. Rich, thank you. Good to see you again. If you'd like to reach out to Rich Eisen, you can do so. He's at rich.eisen@capitalweekly.net.